Yo, what's good, everybody? It's your boy El Tiger. Today, I'm doing another collab with one of my favorite homies back from my TikTok days. Say hello to the lights.
Yo,
And today, we're gonna be talking about Jubi. Obito. Obito is definitely a character when he's in his Jubi form that should have lasted way longer. And I think a lot of people just really underrate the amount of power he has. I think it's pretty strong, and I think a lot of people just really just overlook it. So today, we're gonna be talking about his power, his speed, his abilities, and what makes Obito such an OP character. You want to start us off the lights talking about the tailed beast before we really get into Jubi?
yeah. I mean, like you said, Jubito specifically is extremely downplayed. I mean, just because he kind of got like betrayed on by Madara, which I'm sure we'll get to later in the video, people just assume that he's like not a top tier in the war arc, which is blatantly not the case. And the Jubi itself, the projection of its chakra, it's referred to becoming like its own planet. Before anybody says, right, obviously not its real size, it's just a chakra projection. This same tailed beast was stated to be able to suck up all the water, right? Obviously being an easily multi-continental feat. Naruto states that it's like all 9 beasts combined, and he doesn't stand a chance against it alone, meaning Kurama doesn't stand a chance against it alone. So that's just kind of like a really easy and lowballed benchmark for the Jubi.
Yeah, even the likes of like Kurama, someone that clearly has one of the most chakra in the entire verse, say that his power is just immeasurable. He even talks to Naruto about entering Sage Mode. Be careful about it, because all he is just pure nature energy, pure chakra. And the moment he goes into Sage Mode, man feels very overwhelmed, and he can just tell that it's pure Sage, pure chakra energy. So obviously, when it comes to Kuma, someone that was already stated to have enough power to turn the world to ash with only 50% of his chakra, the Jubi, 10 Tails' power completely overwhelms Naruto. So clearly there's a power gap between the statement from the third data book stating like, he destroy the world basically. So he's already in that planetary section that I think a lot of people tend to just look over. And like the light said earlier, it stated that he was able to swallow oceans, which obviously would be a multi-continent feat. He was also able to slice the planet, which is also stated. So I think he's a character that's very overpowered. And then you have Obito absorbing all of this, and stated by B that his power amplified even more because he's able to actually focus the energy. It's just absolute crazy.
Yeah, and there's also, like Air Tiger said, there's also like multiple concrete instances showing that he is actually capable of withstanding and outputting planetary levels of attacks. We obviously have the statement of Obito saying he will use the Nunoboko, a sword used by the Sage of Six Paths, to obliterate the world. And if you look at it, it's actually not hyperbolic, and I'll tell you why. It's actually very consistent with his character and the context of the scene. As we know, Obito is someone who knows his power level, speaks very objectively and level-headed, and also, as Obito states himself, seeing as Hagoromo used it to create the world, it wouldn't be too much of a stretch to assume that it has the power to be able to destroy the world. So it's really not a hyperbolic statement, right? He could withstand 4 Jubidamas, right? Before you say it's not a durability feat, the thing about this is he created the barrier with his chakra that was able to just nullify the impact. Right now, keep in mind, one of these tailed beast bombs is from 100% Kurama mixed in with Sage Mode, whilst half of Kurama, which is like Naruto before the war arc, right, was stated to be able to destroy the world with earth shaking the heavens, earth shattering destructive power, right? So at this point, planetary is nothing new to Jubito at this point. Also, I don't know if you know of a scaler named DC Does Physics. I think he literally has like a master's degree or whatever in physics, and he calced the Naruto world to be the size of a large planet. So it's not even planetary. It's like large planetary. So like planetary plus or something like that. So yeah,
Yeah, that's completely crazy. And another thing I really want to say about like the obliterate statement, there's a similar statement a little bit later on in the series, aka the Boruto series. Well, Naruto is like protecting the village from Momoshiki, and Boruto basically goes to ask Sasuke why doesn't he just destroy it, and Sasuke literally states he can obliterate that thing, but he doesn't want to just, he would take away the village with him. Main point, the word obliterate within the Naruto series clearly means power wise that he can completely destroy whatever they're talking about, as long as they use the word obliterate, which is pretty consistent within the verse.
You have to consider the fact that like B states that a tailed beast bomb is more than just a ball of exploding chakra. It's basically like the ninja equivalent of a hydrogen bomb, right? So we can technically get Jubito way higher in terms of AP from the same like Jubi Dama feat. And B states like rather than just simple combustion, there's like actual fusion between positive and negative particles in a specific ratio, which would multiply the total output billions and trillions of times over in theory. I will admit it is a little disingenuous to assume that they will multiply the same way they do in our world. You know, if you can substantiate it enough, it can be a decent argument.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy, to be honest. But main point, I think it's clear to say that Obito in this state clearly has levels of planetary to large planetary, and can definitely be argued to be much higher. Moving on from power, we're going to be going about speed. If you are following me for a while, then you probably have already seen my Naruto speed scale, and where I basically explained why Naruto by this point in time should be about FTL, FTL plus, and Jubi Obito was able to react to a very, very strong version of Naruto with full Kurama plus Sage mode, same as well as a EMS Sasuke with the course mark energy, and he's able to react to both pretty easily. So in terms of like raw speed, Jubi Obito should already be FTL plus. And you can even make the argument that at this point in time that he should be leagues above Ito Madara. It's very much implied that at that point in time he was stronger than Madara, or just the strongest being on Earth. So he should just be above the likes of everyone and all sort of light speed attacks. Pretty easy to put him in that FTL, FTL plus range, and possibly MFTL. Moving on to hacks, I'm going to let my man to Lights do it, because I know he loves his hacks.
Yeah, I sure do. Like, an aspect that people really underestimate Jubito is his hacks. And a lot of people overlook that, like, most people towards the end of the war arc actually have insane hacks, right? So we know Jubito has access to the truth-seeking orbs, right? And those are stated to be superior to Onoki's dust release, right? Which turns targets into dust on a molecular level. And that's even before yin-yang release is applied to it, right? Not to mention, he has like low reality warping, high matter manipulation, right? The truth-seeking orbs are partially comprised of yin and yang release, right? Which is capable of altering reality in a variety of ways. That same thing allows for existence eraser, as we see Jubito being able to erase ninjutsu, people, and matter. He also has type 3 immortality, right? You know, he was able to regenerate half of his body after being vaporized by the Truth Seeker orbs, right? Not to mention, he can use most of the sort of elements as well. Paralysis inducement, some shit like that. Some madness and manipulation, right? He's able to withstand the Jubi's power from tearing away at his consciousness, right? And that's just insane. He can use deconstruction, as we know the users of Six Paths chakra are unaffected by the effects of the truth-seeking orbs, right? Let's see, what else does he have? Like transmutation, you know, because the truth-seeking orbs, they can be altered into different states of matter, as we see Jubito literally uses it as a shield. As a shield, it's insane. It's able to withstand planetary levels of attacks, the Biju bombs and shit. It's really just crazy, and people really downplay it, and it's insane.
Yeah, 100%. And now that you said it, you brought up the fact that he could resist against the Ten Tails when he was trying to take over his ego. One thing that's really important about this is when he just becomes the Jinchuriki, obviously he gets a huge amp, and which is also stated by B, that now his power can be focused, the Ten Tails. What's interesting about this is during the next, I want to say 2-3 chapters, his mind's trying to get taken over. When he finally solidifies who he is and he keeps the power and he puts the Ten Tails in bed, I guess you would say, he gets another amp, which is something that a lot of people tend to look over, because now that he's in full control, he isn't like half-assed, which is what happens basically when he just gets the power. He basically gets another amp on top of that, which would definitely could be used for one of the arguments for putting him much above large planetary level. Just to let you guys know, I think that's something a lot of people just tend to look over when they're reading throughout the series. Jupiter was crazy, 100%. I think Jupiter was the first character we get to see the truth secret orbs with, if I remember correctly. And the
Yeah.
two secret orbs, like Jalite said, it should be stronger than Dust released. And remember, for you guys that do remember Onoki, one of my favorite characters on guard, but he was able to destroy that, or he had enough power to destroy that island or whatever that Naruto was sitting on. So, you know, and just to show you guys just how much power a true secret orb, we actually know this from Kaguya. It's basically explaining in the data books that not only do they have much higher levels than obviously island level, it can actually destroy the world and create a world. So the true secret orbs by themselves are freaking wicked in terms of this raw power. And obviously it hacks, knowing that yes, they do have yin and yang, but they also are comprised of each one of the chakra natures, so fire, wind, lightning, earth, and so forth. So wicked, OP, able to reality warp, basically is everybody's ninjutsu's kryptonite, you know. When you have those Shizuka orbs, you're basically guaranteed the W. Yeah, it's pretty crazy, 100%. Anything else you want to bring up, or is that pretty much it?
No, that's about it, right? We can easily get Jubito to large planetary plus with like FTL plus speed with insane hacks. I'm talking hacks that can really almost help Jubito beat almost any character in a 1v1, especially in the Naruto verse. So I think we did a good job in scaling him to like one of the top tiers in the verse.
Yeah, you're right. Before you guys click off the video, make sure to follow my boy Delight on TikTok and drop him a sub in YT. It should be the first link down in the description. And with all that, that'll be it for the video. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, and peace out.